Stream with Chad, Ray, and Perry. We have a special guest star today. Jared, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, hey, I'm Jared Gifford. I am Chad's longtime friend, and I am his writer on Death Watch.
You almost slipped there, didn't you? You almost called it by the old name.
I did.
What was the old name?
Just the name of our hero, Reiner. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'll admit, Death Watch is a much better name than what I came up with.
So, well, and we're working into the book, so everything should work out right. Okay, so just a little bit of a recap. It was very fortunate that we were working on the concept art for our main character, getting the look nailed down. This is where we left off last time. We had our silhouettes. We'd started to do just a little bit of the sketch outline we have here. After I came back to this drawing after our last stream, I'm happy with the silhouettes. I'm happy with the way it looks. But when I started to add the line art, I wasn't happy with the anatomy. So I went in. If you're not aware, there's a program called Daz 3D or Dazed, okay, in the Leet speak. It is freeware that anybody can. What's that, buddy?
Could one say that it's dazed and confused?
If you're a Hunter S. Thompson fan, it is Dazed and confused. But yeah, Daz 3D or Dazed. Anyway, if it's Leet speak or whatever, it's freeware though, and as a comic book artist, as a comic book artist, I've been using it for a long time. It really helps with poses that you're not going to be able to get. For example, Superman flying poses, things like that. It gets you that close. If you're now, Raina, Clip Studio has a feature like this too, correct? Where you have
yes.
3D models. Sorry, Ray. Ugh. Okay, you guys are gonna have to help me. Daz Studio has a function that you can bring these in, and it's basically digital mannequins that you can pose up to help you with your anatomy. So anyway, I have Daz open, and I've taken the 3D model that they've named this model Michael, and I've posed him as close to this pose as I can get. And I'm just going to redraw the silhouette, but this time with anatomy that's just a little bit more correct, in hopes that we can get something that doesn't look quite as exaggerated and cartoony when we do the finished concept piece. So I'm just going to come back in, and we're going to grab this opaque brush. And we were talking together as a group before the podcast started, and anyway, I'm requesting happy stories to help draw
happy
today.
Stories.
So let's hear your guys' happy stories while I nail down this pose real quick.
I'm gonna have to think on this one.
All right. Perry, what about you? Perry, tell me a happy story. You got a happy story, don't you, Perry?
Oh, no, I don't. Yesterday was not a good day, so, hold on.
Oh, boy.
Really? Yesterday was
we
sort
make
of
something up,
At the university, Canvas is down. And Canvas is how everybody's turning their homework in.
Uh-huh.
So that is... does that seems red to me.
It does look red.
Oh, wow.
It's very, faintly red.
Look at that. Okay. I
It's
wasn't...
got kind of a hue to it.
For whatever reason, that was not on True Black. So let me just... I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. So let's nuke. Clear. And let's start over. Alright. I'm just going to try and get this gesture down. Had a really nice gesture drawing session last night. The last one of the semester. So we are really close to finals. And then I get a little bit of a break. And I'm going to use that break to get caught up on commissions. Oh, you know how we talked about me setting up the IPVO so we could do commissions on this? Do you guys remember that, Perry and Ray?
I think so, yeah.
So I got the IPVO out, got everything ready. All my Copics are in my studio at school.
Oh, you have one job.
I had a bunch of jobs, and I haven't done any of them. So
Okay, fine.
I'm telling you, I'm on one. I'm on one. Anyway, so we're gonna go as far on this concept as we can. I'm doing a little bit more anatomy, but once again, I just want to reiterate, this is basically the silhouette I've chosen. I'm just trying to do one that's a little bit more accurate, because when I started drawing on this, the anatomy became an issue for me. So, just trying to get it a little bit more accurate.
And I remember we were discussing that earlier.
So, Jared.
Now see, yeah. What up?
Why don't you? Now, one of the other things that Artist Elite is asking for is basically a write up for. I'm not sure. Like they say previews. Yeah. So why don't you? While I'm sketching
do a
here,
synopsis.
tell us a little bit about the synopsis, so you can tell Deathwatch fans what they can expect when they order the book. Go ahead.
Okay, well, Deathwatch is the story of Reiner Cushing. He is actually a demon hunter, and so basically he fights all sorts of supernatural stuff: vampires, werewolves, specters.
Don't give away too many
any
spoilers.
kind of supernatural, any kind of supernatural thing you can think of.
Okay.
And he basically travels across Europe in the 19th century and basically helps people out and does so at the cost of his own happiness.
Aw. Now, why Cushing? Why Reiner Cushing?
Well, you will know this, but for those not familiar, the name comes from Peter Cushing. And he is most known for, younger generations will know him as Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars.
I think, older generation? I think we're the younger generation that remembers.
Yeah.
We're the youngest, right? That remember Peter
Well,
Cushing?
yeah, but then it's going to make me sound even older with the fact that I know him mostly from things like Horror of Dracula. And in fact, this character, that the template I used was Van Helsing from Horror of Dracula.
Right. Now, Perry Ray, have you ever even heard of Peter Cushing?
No.
Never.
No.
Have you seen the original Star Wars films?
Yes.
You have, okay.
Yeah, you've seen A New Hope?
Yes.
I mean, I know Grand Moff Tarkin.
Okay.
I'm just really bad with actor
that's
names.
Peter Cushing.
Okay.
Like I'm horrible with actor names.
Yeah, it's okay, but that was Peter Cushing, and he, in his younger years, did a lot of horror films.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you should definitely check them
Which
out.
is
They're
ironic,
actually very good.
and he was also the hero, though. So when you see him as Grand Moff Tarkin, he's like the ultimate bad guy. I mean, he's basically
He's like the opposite of that when he's Van
Vader's
Helsing.
boss. Yes, and so in the horror films though, he's the good guy. So
yeah.
But I think the younger generation probably know him best from his likeness being added to Rogue One.
And that's true because he has been thrown in that, and then also in some of the animated ones too. I believe they had him in episodes of Star Wars Rebels, and
Clone Wars as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. And Clone Wars, and then also that new one. What's it? The Bad Batch.
Yes.
I haven't watched Bad Batch. Have you guys watched it?
It's so good.
Is it?
It's so good. Yeah, it's
my brother
really,
and I-
really good.
They're right. My brother and I watched that, and it's amazing, Chad.
Okay. Is it Arcane good?
Okay, listen, nothing is going to be as arcane good.
Nothing is going to be arcane good.
Yeah,
But
I'm with them too.
Have you watched Clone Wars though, Chad?
Yeah.
Because
Because if you've watched Clone
I
Wars,
feel
like
called
it's
out. I feel called out.
You haven't watched Clone Wars.
I have tried.
You haven't watched Clone Wars?
I have tried.
What
I
is
have
wrong
tried
with
to
you?
watch Clone
Feel those
Wars.
knives that are about to go into your
I
back?
I
Coming for you.
cannot get into it. I try.
Would it-
It's so.
would it help if I sent
cheesy.
you-
It's so
I mean,
cheesy.
Listen, listen,
Just
listen.
The narration, like at the beginning, where it's like, oh, young Anakin Skywalker, I'm
You
like,
just have to get through like the first season and a half. The last 2 seasons
They're
are
right, Chad.
so good.
oh,
The
no.
thing is, it starts off really bad, but as you get into it, it's so much better.
Okay.
Really,
Yeah.
you miss out on a whole lot if you skip through the rest of the seasons. I mean, let me
Yep.
put it this way: you could probably be okay skipping through the first season, but like season 2 on, definitely check it out.
See, everyone
Yes.
says that about Airbender too, though. I just, it's like, how much bad stuff do I have to watch to get to the good stuff? Like,
Well,
okay,
think about it like this, right? Clone Wars at first was catered for children, so it's cheesy and, very family friendly and not much depth to it. But as they continued making more seasons, they realized that the audience that was watching Clone Wars was also aging and was composed of more adults than they'd originally thought. So by the time that they just barely recently released the final season a couple years ago or a year ago or something, and that one was completely catered towards people who grew up watching Star Wars. It was
Okay.
very, very good.
okay.
I completely agree. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, you guys. I don't know. I think I'd just rather rewatch Arcane. Perry, what do you think?
About Star Wars, or
Well, yeah. Have you seen any of it?
I'm not. I've seen like the first 3 movies. I've seen some of the prequels. I didn't bother with like the most recent ones. I just
You missed
just
nothing.
wasn't really raised with Star Wars.
You mi-
That's the thing, I wasn't really raised with Star Wars, so it wasn't really like a big deal. That and like for all the big things, people are like, "Oh yeah, you love this, right?" I'm like, "Oh, I grew up watching other things, I guess." Like, I don't
that's
know Harry
okay.
Potter. Don't know Lord of the Rings.
You don't
It,
wait.
like-
You don't know Harry Potter? No.
No, I was never a Potter kid.
Okay. Did you ever read the books?
Oh, I was too busy reading books by Neil Gaiman,
Okay.
and
okay.
this book called
Ooh,
Wow.
ooh, that's awesome.
Perry
That is
just
awesome.
like dunked on everybody. So like I just
Pass.
wanna, I
You
just
can
want to
pass on that one
I want to
because I love Neil
preface
Gaiman.
this with I knew nothing about Harry Potter at all. But Joy had been reading the books to the kid. Like, okay, you guys got to understand. Like, talk about like mom of the year. Joy read our kids to sleep every night.
Oh wow,
That's awesome.
Yeah, every night.
it's like a storybook mother, like, but literally and figuratively.
She really is. I don't know why she
That
married
is
me.
awesome.
That was her biggest mistake as a mother. is marrying me. But no, Joy.
What do
Joy,
we say about self-depreciation?
Joy is a really great mom, and she did. So she read to the kids every night before bed, and one of the books that she picked up was Harry Potter, and then the movie came out. Okay, and Joy drags me
Ooh,
to
so kind of coincided perfectly, didn't it?
Joy drags me to the movie, and I'm like, what am I watching? This is hot trash. Like I hated it. I'm like, I couldn't tell what was going on. And Joy's like, well, it only makes sense if you read the books. And I was like, okay, that's a bad movie. Any movie where you have to, any movie where you can't sit and watch the movie and just tell what's going on, it's a bad movie. I'm sorry, okay? So, anyway, Joy's like, just read the books. Like, she was like, you need to know what your kids are reading anyway. You need to be involved. So I read the books. I loved the books. I fell in love with the books. By the time the last books came out, Joy and I were the ones that were reading them, and the kids were just like, I don't care. So so we became fans, sort of, and we guised it as but our kids are. I think it did its work because they all have either Slytherin robes or we have I think we have 2 Slytherins, 1 Hufflepuff, and 1 Ravenclaw. And I don't know what Joy is, but probably Joy's probably Gryffindor. But
yeah. You know how you were talking earlier about great stories, right? Happy stories. Now that you have brought this up, I've got one for you.
Okay.
When I was a kid, and this is, I mean, I get my love of reading from both my parents, but this is where my dad was like Father of the Year was the fact that my dad, when I was a little kid, used to read my brother and I things like Lord of the Rings and all the Dune books.
Oh wow!
To put us to bed.
No, you had a great dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dune, this whole podcast we could just talk about Dune.
Oh yeah.
We could.
But I don't know. Please forgive me. I've forgotten everybody's names here.
Ray, and Perry.
Thank you, Ray, and Perry. But 2 of you. I don't know if you 2 ever had heard the story of how Chad and I met.
No, I don't think I
believe
have.
so. No.
Okay. Well, good story. Chad and I met in and around 2010, I think it was, right, Chad?
Gosh, dude, don't ask me to remember dates, dude.
Just say yes.
I know the event. Oh, yes.
Yeah, just say yes.
Okay,
Anyway, we met each other at a free comic book day. This was before Chad was like a big deal. Okay, this was when if I was to mention his name, most people would be like, "Who the hell are you talking about?"
That's very true. Most people are that way today, and that's okay. So,
but anyway, he was doing a free comic book day because him and David, David's the guy who runs the local comic book shop out here.
Comics
him
Plus.
and David were friends.
Go ahead and plug them, Jared. Plug Comics
Yeah.
Plus.
And if you want to go get to a great place that's actually got a really great selection of comic books, and even if he doesn't have it, he'll be more than willing to special order it for you. Head on over to Comics Plus. It's in St. George, Utah. It's run by David Rowland. David Rowland is an excellent guy. And once he has memorized your taste, he will always recommend something to you that you're going to love.
That's awesome.
Consummate professional, right?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
well,
sorry.
I want to get back to my story.
Yeah, tell your story.
Yeah. Anyway, Chad was there for a free comic book day, and my friend, it's a mutual friend of Chad and I's, our friend Maury had dragged me over there for that free comic book day.
Shout out to Maury.
Yeah. Shout out to Maury. Yes, Maury Kessler. Anyway, that's where I had met Chad, and God bless the man. Because here's the thing. I actually had some writing samples, and they were really bad. Okay, this guy has had to put up with my horrid writing samples for years. And
Ray, what's your
anyway,
rule on self-deprecation?
Yeah. We don't talk about self-deprecation on this stream.
We're out of style.
No.
we can't be self-deprecating anymore.
You might have been bad forever ago, but that just means you're much better now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, and I was gonna get there, but I'm saying, this was like my early stuff. So I mean, anybody's early stuff's not gonna be horribly good. But anyway, one of the things, and this is I'm praising Chad here, is that one of the great things that he did was that he took a look at my stuff and he said that my description needed work, but he gave me a great compliment on this one. He said my dialogue was excellent. He loved my dialogue, and I loved that. And then what happened was I can't remember how it came up exactly, but something had been mentioned, and then it reminded me of a Dune reference, and then I said something about, well, is that House Harkonnen or House Atreides? And then Chad and I got in this big old discussion about Dune, and then that's when we became lifelong friends.
That's awesome.
A wholesome story.
And then we've definitely hung out at Anime Fanaku.
Yep.
There's been multiple events. You got to understand, like,
Yeah.
Comics Plus, for the
Yeah.
longest time, was the only comic store in Southern Utah. That's it. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And now there's in Cedar, there's Gunja the Bead Forest. But Gunja is not okay. Being a comic purist is not a true
Yeah.
comic book sport. Like, don't get me wrong, and I'm not bashing. I love Gunja. I love everyone at Gunja. I love you. But unless you have a ton of back issues, like, that's what sort of separates the comic book store from the store that has comics, right? So,
Yeah.
but this sort of looks like the Flying Nun right now.
And that's where I would say that, like when you and I were talking about David earlier, where he's a guy who has a comic book store,
Yes.
because David knows his stuff.
Well, and when we say the consummate professional, so I was in St. George for a little while back in.
Yeah.
I lived there right around 2001. That's where I was at when 9/11 happened. I was working for a video game developer called Sapphire, and anyway, but I'd gone to college in Cedar City, Utah. So when I moved to St. George after graduation to go to work at Sapphire. But when I was in Cedar City, Utah, we'd have to drive down to St. George because Cedar City did not have a comic book store, only St. George did, and it's an hour's drive from Cedar City to St.
Yeah.
George. And we would get to St. George and we go to the comic book store, and it'd be like 3:00 in the afternoon, and the comic book store hadn't opened yet. Okay. And so, like, when David moved to town, you know, like, David had uniforms, you know, was
All of it.
open.
And I like how you described that, because you're right. He was actually the most professional, because we had a store prior to that, but the guy wasn't that professional.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I know uniforms don't, like, you're like, oh, well, what's the big deal about uniforms? If you've ever been in, like, a normal comic book store, it is sort of like Mos Eisley Cantina. You know, you never, you know, if you think about the comic book guy in The Simpsons, that's a generous portrayal of some comic book store owners. Lots of times, like, you'll walk in and it's just like heavy metal music playing, and it smells funky, and Comics Plus was almost like a Barnes and Noble environment. So you walked in, it was bright, it was cheerful. It didn't look like
Didn't feel like a basement.
It didn't feel like a basement with Megadeth posters and AC/DC. And don't get me wrong, I love these bands, you know, but if you're
running a professional business, it's just not a good idea.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was not inviting to everyone. Comics Plus was inviting to everyone.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is if you're doing stuff like that, it's just kind of catering to one kind of audience.
Yeah.
And the fact is I've learned over the years, just you know, and you know this as well, Chad, is that the fact is all comic book fans come from different walks of life, and not everybody's going to like the same exact stuff.
Right. And Dave, I think, opened a store that made everyone welcome. It had more than comics. It had a huge selection of manga.
He has a
huge
big selection of board games
right.
too.
A huge selection of trade paperbacks, games, board games. He even had a little back area where you could do a little bit of gaming. He held a mini convention there. So anyway, really good experience. And then, do you remember he had Garrett Wong out from Voyager? Do you remember that? Yeah,
he did.
That was a really fun show.
Yeah, from Star Trek Voyager. In fact, he'd also he told me a cool story that he almost got. Oh God, why can't I remember his name? He was the guy who played as the hologram in Voyager.
Oh, the Doctor.
Yeah, you remember? Do you remember the actor's name?
I don't, but I know I can see
He's
it.
like Ricardo something.
Yeah. Who's aged
Anyway-
incredibly well. I saw a picture with him
Yes.
and Jerry Ryan on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Well, David had said he'd almost managed to get him to come like the following year after he'd gotten Garrett Wong. But the only problem that came up was the fact that I guess he didn't drive.
Oh,
And,
he's New Yorker, huh?
Yeah, and then they basically said that if he got him, he would have, David would have to like arrange for transportation, arrange for a place to stay and all that kind of stuff,
I wish I'd have known that. I would have totally gone to Vegas and picked him up. I totally would have done that. I would have vacuumed my nasty truck, drove down to Vegas.
But we need to let David know this stuff,
know,
because then he
yeah.
can get the cool gifts.
Okay, so I finished my silhouette. The anatomy's a little bit fixed. The pose is almost the same. I took this arm, lowered it down a little bit. I added some bulk, so he wasn't so skinny. Looks like he's had a sandwich sometime in the 19th century.
Yeah, no, I'm liking that. And the feet look kind of sleek.
Yeah, the feet are in a better position, so the anatomy's not as stretched, not as cartoony. The hat is doing some weird things a little bit.
Well, and what I love about this, and once again, I don't know if it's life imitating art or whatever, but did you ever see the Castlevania game, Castlevania Rondo of Blood?
Chances are I have. I think I've played just a bit. Now, let me preface that. What console did that come out on, Jared?
This one, technically they did have sort of a port to it, but okay. There's a funny story behind that. Castlevania Rondo of Blood originally was released for what around the world they call the PC Engine. Over here we call it the TurboGrafx 16.
No, I have not
however,
played. All right.
No, however, we didn't get it, and it stayed in Japan. But what happened was we got what's considered a butchered port on the Super Nintendo, and it was called Castlevania Dracula X.
Now, I probably did play it. Or I played the port then.
Yeah, and well, like I said, but it's not quite as good as Rondo of Blood. The cool thing is you can actually go on the PlayStation 4 network, and they actually have something called Castlevania Requiem, which actually has the full Castlevania Rondo of Blood translated, and it's just like it was on the TurboGrafx 16. But Dracula X, like I said, it was kind of a butchered port. I mean, it was good, still fun game, but there was a lot of stuff that got cut out.
Sorry,
yeah,
my drawing
anyway,
and everything.
What I'm saying is, what this reminds me of, the way he's posing, it reminds me of the way that Richter Belmont posed on the cover art for that.
Cool. Let me ask you guys an opinion. Perry Ray as artist, would you go with the straight up pilgrim hat, or do you think that's a little cheesy and dated?
I think it's a little cheesy, personally.
Uh-oh. I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but I was worried about that. So what can
I
you
think
do
it
to
depends
sort
on,
of
like, how you
spice
choose
it
to-
up? Like I could.
I think it depends on how you choose to render it or something. Like, are you doing, like, if you were to kind of, like, make it a little bit, like, tattered, maybe? Or something, that way, it didn't look like the nice, like, shiny polish, like, here I am
How
with,
about-
my cornbread.
Have either of you seen the movie Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Perry, let's go back to this. Here I am with my cornbread.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said? What is-
I did.
No.
I don't know why, I just think of cornbread.
Yeah.
Oh my heck. Okay.
But what I'm saying is, like, maybe make his hat a little bit more like the hat that Hugh Jackman wore in Van Helsing.
Well, one of the things I was toying with, so like, okay, is like, what if we had an icon here? Because,
Ooh.
like just for example, if I did this, then everyone would know that it was Spawn or Deadpool.
You're right.
You know
You're
what I mean?
right. So kind of like a logo that defines him.
Well, I think that if I just go with the standard buckle, is that what?
Yeah.
Perry, is that why you said cornbread like he was bringing a
Yeah, 'cause
dish.
it just makes me think of like those, little Thanksgiving like displays of the pilgrims.
Okay,
with,
yeah,
they're
we
cornbread.
we can't. I can't live with that. So
You know what? I like the circular thing you had going there. Let's do more of like an emblem on the hat.
well, if you guys think of an emblem that you think's appropriate, and remember, this is 19th century Europe.
Yeah.
And now, and one of the things I don't want to have happen is to have a uniform that's so complicated that I dread drawing the comic.
No. How about this? Because they still were kind of big on this, especially in Europe at the time. How about like a thing on it that's got maybe like a family coat of arms on it or something?
Well, coat of arms, they're usually a shield, and they have sort of like an elaborate. I need something.
Oh, you want something a little more basic. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So yeah, you're right. I'm thinking a little too complicated.
What if we just did let's just do a band for now. Let's just do a band, and then we'll come back to it. All right. Now I want to.
You know what? And this will be as basic as everything. Why don't you put a gold strip on it?
Something like that. You know what we could do? What if we did almost like a spike?
Ooh, and that would be fun too.
I'm trying to weather it too, Perry.
Yeah.
I just feel like that also gives it some character. Like he's been through some stuff.
Give him
not
that
baking
warm
cornbread.
hat look like Indiana Jones.
He's been through some stuff. He's seen it. All right. Let's see if we can get the face. Now, this is one thing I didn't do was, and I should have. I wanted to have almost like that breastplate. I should take some time right now before I get started and just do some armor. Because I want his neck to be protected. I feel like if he's going up against supernatural characters,
Especially vampiric ones.
Yep.
That neck.
Exactly. We got to protect the neck.
Ooh, no, I like that neckline.
So, hey, Chad.
Yes.
Oh, there's a question that has taken way too long for us to get to in the chat. It is by Crypto Comics Matt, I believe.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you're going to be selling your custom brushes.
No, I'll give them away for free though. And then Matt, are you noticing something, Matt? Is Matt still on? I got my Christmas present. So hold on, let me.
He also did mention nice hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I took it off and blinded everyone. Oh, look at the shine.
Oh,
hold on.
I forgot to mention that's another thing that Chad and I could relate to. Both him and I had to start buzzing our heads around the same time.
There we go.
Swear I had a dream and you were in it, Chad, but you had hair. So I remember thinking to myself,
What?
"Oh, so you are bald by choice."
Was it glorious hair? Was it a pompadour?
No, it was pretty basic.
Oh.
Well, at least I had hair.
I'm sorry, my dream didn't upgrade you that much.
You know what's
It
funny?
should have been.
I had a dream.
Matt is still here, by the
curly
way.
Locks from out of the '80s.
Matt, thank you so much. I should have said something at the beginning, and I meant to email you. Thank you. It's been a crazy week. We'll catch up on the crypto podcast. But it's been crazy. But where was I going? Perry, help me out.
I don't know.
You're talking about a dream you had because I talked about you having hair.
I dreamt that I met my grandpa when he was young, and he was
Ooh,
like
wow.
he was like buff. And do you remember, like my grandpa's still wearing the same size of jeans as he wore when he got married. So like he hasn't gained weight. He's shrunk a little bit, but like I met him when he was like a young man. Like
Yeah.
and it was crazy. It was like the craziest dream. But anyway, I don't know why I thought of that. When you said I had hair, it made me think of my grandpa and seeing my grandpa when he was young.
So Crypto Comics Matt said that apparently he's seen you with hair. Like, seen a picture of
Oh
you
my
with hair.
gosh. Well, you know what? I might have still had hair when Matt and I met. So, it hasn't... Ray Perry, have you ever seen me with hair? How long have we known each other?
I always assume you just didn't have it. So, that's a no.
It's sort of the embarrassing hair. It's the hair that doesn't really I have like a little tiny tuft right here, and then I have the whole Picard, goes around the back. And it just looks like cockadoodie.
Dad, it's scary how you describe that, because that's exactly how my hair is.
I'm sitting here describing how I hate my hair, and Jared's like, "It's exactly like my." I'm sorry, but anyway,
It's hilarious, dude. It is.
I would have shaved mine a long time ago, but Joy said that I would look like, and this is the harshest burn I think I've ever received in my life.
Oh, wow.
This is the harshest. She said that I would look like Curly from the Three Stooges. you guys
I
don't
guess
know
it
who the
depends on
Three
who you ask. I
Stooges
would have taken that as a
Oh, no.
compliment. I love the Three Stooges.
Ray Perry, do you know who the Three Stooges are?
I do, actually.
Okay, well, good.
But that's one thing I do know.
Okay,
Really?
yeah. So I didn't shave my head for, I think, I just went around looking embarrassing, horrible for another 10 years. And then finally, I was doing CrossFit. And at the gym, and there's just a lot of guys there that a lot of military folks, a lot of first responders, and they all had shaved heads, and I thought they looked just fine, so I shaved my head too, and I thought I looked a lot better. The moms at the gym really dug it, so
Nice.
anyway, I think it was the right call. And I don't look like Curly. I look like Lex Luthor. Let's get it right.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, man, I am loving that. Oh, man, look at that.
Yeah, I'm just going slow and steady.
Yeah.
I definitely want him to have that rugged face.
Oh, definitely. Well, and I like how his hair kind of goes a little wild there. It's pretty cool. What I like about it is it shows that he's road weary, that he spends most of his time traveling.
Yeah. And I because Peter Cushing did not have a mustache and beard, I'm keeping him clean shaven.
Yes. Actually, you know what? I think that might be the best way to go. I was tempted to maybe see if you could give him some face fuzz or something, but
Maybe a
I'm
little
thinking,
bit of stubble.
You know what? That might work too. Not exactly full beard, but yeah, just maybe some stubble at the end.
I think that helps him look a little bit like Hugh Jackman too. If we're going for the
It does. Well, and plus, I mean,
Wolverine-ish.
yeah, exactly, just like Wolverine as well. But I think it kind of helps to portray the fact that, I mean, like I said, he's traveling most of the time, so it's not exactly as if he gets to go out and get a shave every time he wants to.
Shaving cream. Be
I know.
nice and clean. You guys ever hear that song?
Maybe we ought to have him run into a traveling shaving cream salesman in an issue.
Dr. Detroit. I feel so old even talking about this stuff. Well, I feel like when I say these things and Ray and Perry are just completely silent, they're just like, what is he saying?
That's why
He's just babbling to himself into the void. And
well,
I
not-
just
not
assume
exactly
that everybody
babbling to
knows
yourself.
who
I mean, I
Dr.
get the
Detroit
references.
is. Okay, well, but see, like, we're the same age, Jared.
Yeah. relatively.
But it's you're a little bit younger than me, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. We're both in our 40s. I'm gonna be turning 41 this next year. And
you're a baby
you're 47,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole point is we're both in our 40s, so we're gonna get a lot of these references.
I'm the old man in this podcast. So one of the other thing we talked about is for marketing purposes, becoming VTubers.
What is that?
That way we can hide our age.
It's basically where, like, so kind of like how Chad is streaming right now, rather than being able to see his face, it would almost show, like, this, animated, like, moving character in his place.
Oh, wow.
And
I think I
think
have seen
like
that before.
A moving avatar.
I think I would want to be a space chimp.
A space chimp?
A space chimp, like the chimps that went up for NASA.
Oh, no. I knew what you meant. I just want to make sure I heard you right.
Yeah, I think that's what I want for my avatar, because it's
All right,
timeless.
fine. If you're gonna go on the,
It's
hey,
intrepid.
if you're gonna go on that, then I want to be an ultra blue hedgehog.
Now that's done. You get sued.
That's true. I get sued by Sega.
Sega. I have my Sega hat too. Where's my Sega hat? I can swap out my.
Although
Sega.
I think
We're gonna
that
keep wearing the
Sega's a
crypto
little
hat,
bit
though.
more open with their rights than, say, people like Nintendo are.
I don't know, boy. I've heard some crazy Nintendo stories this week.
Oh, I have no. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Nintendo's like Disney when it comes to their rights. I mean, they like fight fiercely for them.
Yeah.
Where were we? I could have swore where we heard the. Did we talk about this last time? Did we talk about Nintendo last time and how? Or was I listening to something?
You might have been listening to something?
Yeah, I could have swore we had this conversation relatively recently. So I want him to have a bandolier.
Yes, actually, that would be fine.
And I want it to say Miss Universe. No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, because I think you and I had talked about this yesterday anyway. But I said, if you have a really great idea you've got for the character, just go ahead and put it in.
I think we should incorporate a crucifix into the armor.
I think that would be pretty awesome, actually. Most of the really cool.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't think about that. What do you think about that, Jared? Did you hear what Perry said?
Oh, what would you say? I'm sorry.
I was talking about possibly doing a crucifix as, like, the symbol on the hat, like doing some kind of.
Oh!
Yeah.
Best idea yet. Do it.
Okay. Well, I sort of want one on his neck, and I'll tell you why. Because we did the cover, and he had one on his neck.
Well, you could have.
We are committed, sir.
He could have one on the hat, and then one on around his neck.
Here.
Extra holy.
There we go.
Ooh.
There we go. Did you like that? Did you see what I did?
Dude, nice. And see, and you know what it could do? You could probably take that out and use it as like a jabbing implement.
For sure. Now, hair color. I'm thinking his hair's white because he has seen some shit.
How about like
That wasn't
How about
YouTube friendly,
pepper?
Chad.
What's that?
How about
we're
like-
supposed
how
to
about
keep it
kind of
friendly? Am I Did I just demonetize us on YouTube? I'm sorry.
You already said it.
Did I?
You just said shit. Like, oh, that's not kid friendly, Chad.
What? Oh, earmuffs, kids.
Oh, no.
Earmuffs.
We meant excrement. We swear.
Okay. Yeah, daggone it. That sailor mouth.
But anyway, no, I really like that. That's pretty freaking cool. Aha! See, I just censored myself.
Ooh, 2 claps.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get a little bit of reference to finish up that breastplate.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking he's armored too. Now,
but I would
correct
say,
me if I'm wrong, didn't the early Knights armor deflect bullets as well? But it just came down to the point where, I wish we had. I wonder if we could talk to like any of the history professors at UVU.
Oh, hey, Chad.
Yes.
Crypto Comics Matt said, do some Robert Plant mutton chops. Give him that Shaggy vibe.
Well, he definitely has sort of the pointed sideburns covering the ears.
Yeah. We're trying to make him look kind of like a shaggy Peter Cushing.
Well, I was sort of going for that, and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Oh, Hugh Jackman would sort of be perfect still.
Yeah, he would actually. Well, that's why I was like at least suggesting the template of the way he had his character Van Helsing in the film.
Yeah, now was that with Kate Beckinsale? Who was his co-star in that?
Yeah, you're right. It was Kate Beckinsale, the one from Underworld.
Okay, see, I was wondering if I just sort of mistook. If I mistook.
No, she was in it too.
Okay,
she was in it too.
And what role did she play?
She was the other hunter that he ran into.
Okay, so they were both hunting together.
They joined up eventually.
I need to rewatch that film.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty fun one. It's one that sadly tends to get ripped apart by other people. But if you're into like a lot of the gothic horror stuff, it's actually quite a fun movie.
Does anyone know anything about the Greek Orthodox Church? Did they have a different cross than
I can Google it real quick.
Yeah, can you do that, Perry, real quick?
Yeah.
Well,
let me do that for you.
Well, I mean, although because I mean, since I have it to where he's actually British, so I mean, I think any cross will do.
Well, then maybe we want to do it like a Celtic cross then.
Yes, do something like that. Actually, yeah.
I just figured since he was on mainland Europe and so.
Well, he travels all around Europe because even remember, at least the whole idea is that he travels all over the place.
Right.
So he doesn't really have one home, but if people want to know what his nationality is, he's originally British.
Right, but our story starts in mainland Europe. And
yeah, it does.
And the Death Watch starts. So remember when we were, I don't know how much we can actually talk about with like just giving the whole story away. So maybe
that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't want to give away too much that's involved in the script because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, designs might vary slightly, but oh man, I don't know what is up with me. Maybe I just can't talk and draw.
I think as long as it looks cool, I don't know if people are going to ask for too many details about that.
Do we give him like a thick wrapper chain?
Ooh, yes.
I was being facetious.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool, dude. But, But then again, I am easily pleased. I think that I don't think you've ever actually seen me pissed off, Chad.
No, I haven't. You're really easygoing, Jared, but that's probably why we're friends.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Chad?
Yes.
I went ahead and Googled Celtic crosses, like, just because, and I found two that look kind of interesting. I'm going to send them over the Discord chat.
All right, let me just check Discord real quick. Ooh, whoa, yeah, that's cool. That's where we're going. Whoa, that bottom one, yes. That needs
like okay. Printy.
So I think the bottom one definitely needs to go in the hat. That's what needs to go in the hat. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It even also kind of looks like a hat pin.
Yeah, it
so
does.
It feels appropriate.
Okay, let's see what this is going to look like. Ooh, nice. I can't wait.
So, happy stories. What are you guys going to do for your holiday break? Sleep?
I'm gonna make little treat tins. That'll be fun.
Well,
Aw.
I'm definitely going to eat myself into a coma Christmas Eve and sleep in, and then I don't know. I just might open presents on Christmas Day, but you know.
I'm just hoping that I get to see my son.
I hope you get to see your son too. Actually, you know what? That would be great.
I'm gonna go up and see my family.
Where are they at?
Yeah.
Ray?
They're just in North Utah.
I thought we were in North Utah. I was more
They're in further North Utah.
You're all in North Utah.
They're on the border of Utah Light.
He's like,
I'd rather-
you know, I live in Ivins, which is right next door to St. George, which is like on the very bottom of Utah. So you're all up north.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd rather not say cities on stream, but
Oh,
they're up in
I-
North Utah, and there's a lot of snow up there, so I'm really excited to go see them for Christmas.
I keep forgetting that we're supposed to. Yeah. It's smart. It's smart. And I understand why we do it. I'm just not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I scared the dog. Actually, my mom's got this wind chime above her computer. I hit it, and I think I scared the dog.
Oops.
Jared, have you ever met my dog Boo?
I don't think I have. To be honest, I don't think I've actually been to your house.
You've been to my house. Well,
Have
maybe,
I?
Maybe not the new one.
Probably not the new one. If I've been anywhere, let me put it this way: if I've been to your house, it's maybe been like once or twice. But you know, the
what?
thing is
Maybe
that
you haven't, because I think I always picked you up and we'd like head to Vegas.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, from what I remember, I believe that either I would meet you somewhere, or you would come and pick me up.
Yeah, because we'd always sort of caravan down to Vegas for Amazing Vegas.
Yeah, we did. Which, you know, I gotta get in touch with the guys over at Amazing Vegas, because
Okay.
I need to know is are we still gonna be able to get the tables that we paid for in 2020?
That is a great question. I would assume so. So did you
Yeah.
did you buy a table?
Back in 2020, I bought a table, but this was before, you know, the pandemic got big and huge, and so, you know, you know, what had happened was I was waiting a few months, and then we all went into lockdown, and you know, and then they announced that they were canceling Amazing Las Vegas, and I did get an email in and around that time that there would maybe be some kind of rollover, but, you know, like I said, I'm still not quite sure at this point, simply because it's been a year since they made that announcement.
Ray Perry, if you ever wanted to do a show,
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Vegas would be an awesome show. It would be
Why
Sounds amazing.
specifically? Why specifically? I would like to know.
It is very much more a comic book show than it is a pop culture show.
It definitely
Okay.
emphasizes the comic books
Yeah.
and the comic book creators more so than like the big celebrities that they do at things like San Diego Comic-Con.
Or
Mhm.
or even Fan X.
Yeah, or even FanX, because even they emphasize the actors more so than the creators.
So Ray, do you want to read out the chat? We got a question.
Crypto Comics Matt asks, just for clarification, why sketch out your drawing with the pose and the proportions, then fill it in with the gray, only to redraw it?
I did the anatomy. So if you know, here, let's. Well, we can't. Well, maybe we can. Here, hold on. This is why we love Procreate. We come in here and we can do the time lapse replay, right? So let's just fast forward. Okay, so
I'll have to admit that every time I hear the word procreate, the juvenile in me snickers a little.
Hold on. This is okay. So this is where we picked up. So you can see I've worked on it a little bit. Still not happy with it. Still not happy with it. And then this is about where we started, right? Right about here. And then, so this, Matt, if you notice, just anatomy. Just anatomy. The bare bones anatomy. So I'm going for body type, muscle structure. Okay. So I'm getting that all in there because one of the things I didn't like about the silhouette I did before, especially when I started drawing it, I'll rewind. See how distorted this leg is? This left leg? How the left leg just sticks out way too far for my taste. So this is all shooting from the hip, and there's nothing wrong with shooting from the hip. Okay? I think lots of times when we shoot from the hip and we nail it, it's like the best way to draw comics because there's just a lot of raw energy. Rob Liefeld is a great example of someone who just shoots from the hip, and where it lands is where it lands, and he commits. And
I'm glad that you brought him up. I'm glad you brought him up because I've defended him many times on my podcast, and I've said whether you love his art or you hate his art, it pops out. The man knows how to make art pop out.
Yeah, it's well designed, and he just, and every artist is different. Every artist has an emphasis. Rob's emphasis is on like the composition and the design. Okay, and he sort of sacrifices anatomy and realism. He focuses more on those things. So, but for me, I'm a little bit the opposite. Where I always try to sort of side on like this flavored realism. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I try and get it as real as I can, and then I pull it back a little bit. So this, having the anatomy like this, just for whatever reason, bugs me. I have to get it a little bit closer to reality. So I decided to abandon that. Oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. I kept the silhouette just because I wanted it on my inspiration board, and then but I wanted to bring it in a little bit closer to reality, so it wasn't so exaggerated. So bringing the anatomy back in. If you notice this one, focusing on the underlying muscle structure. Making sure that the proportions are right, that the stance is a little bit more realistic, and then once all that's established, I can fill that in because I know that like the underlying structure's there, and then now I'm basically going in and I'm just worried about the line art on top of it, how that looks. It also helps me like clean it up a little bit, and then I'm just focusing on the detail. So
it's building it from the ground up.
Yeah. Oh wow! You know what? Oh no!
What's the matter?
I think so this is a brand new iPad.
Yeah.
And if you want the high definition videos, you have to go in and set that before you start drawing. So yeah, I just realized that my playback movies are basically in low resolution. So. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go back in and make sure before I get too far into these that I make sure that the video playback is high def. Okay, so anyway, let's get back. Let's see. Let's start designing just a little bit more of his jacket. We're gonna have a little bit of pouches here around the arms because everything's sort of gonna be cinched at the waist.
Yeah. If you happen to hear that, that's my mom's grandfather clock going off.
All right. So the. What time is it? Oh wow, it's already 4. We gotta hustle.
Yeah.
We gotta hustle. Do the hustle.
Yeah.
Why did that
Plus,
sound like Mickey
we got-
Mouse?
Do the hustle. I don't know. Anyway.
That was a
Oh
nerve.
man. Apparently my laugh stretches the
Sorry.
dog.
Do you feel sorry for my kids yet?
Yeah.
This episode of
Here's to see
Creative
I didn't
Comics
already.
was brought to you by English Breakfast.
There we go.
So delicious. Everyone hates tea, but that's just because Americans don't know how to make tea. It's wonderful. Thank you, Britain.
True.
You seriously, dude? You're pulling all that stuff, and it just shows how much alike we are. Because I am a tea drinker too.
I love tea.
Oh yeah.
I hate Lipton.
Yeah, there's a tea place.
Really?
I was gonna say
Tell me about it.
there's a tea place in Salt Lake, and it is so like it's one of my favorite places. It's words. It's called Tea Grotto,
Oh,
Ooh.
and you go in there. Like it's really chill, really relaxed. They even have like this little seating area that's like in this little like bungalow looking thing. Like
Sell me on it. Sell
it's
me
just
on it.
nice. Yeah, like they have so many teas. I couldn't even tell you how many teas they have. Like probably easily over 100 different kinds
Wow.
of teas.
So is it a tea paradise, if you will?
Yeah, it definitely is.
we'll have to go.
Oh.
Tranquility, if you will.
He who would pun would pick a pocket.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, you just buy it by the pot or something. Like they bring you a little pot of tea. I think you get like 2 or 3 refills, and if you like the tea, then they also sell it in like little bags, and you can take the tea home with you.
That
What's
sounds
funny
a lot
is
of fun.
when you were mentioning that, just like the individual pods and stuff, I just got this thought of like a back alley tea deal. You know, you
My
got the
gosh.
stuff. Yeah, I got the stuff.
It is sort of contraband here. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Speaking of like, back alley deals, like this has nothing to do with a back alley deal, but you know how earlier you were talking about how like, you and Jerry can talk about things from like your generation, and like me and Ray just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I'm like, I wonder like kind of weird things I could go up to Ray and say. Like, they'll probably understand it, but Chad and Jared won't. And I'm like, I could probably go up to Ray and say in just like a really sketchy way, just like, any good lamps in the area? And I feel like Ray would understand what I'm getting at. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, not Chad and I don't get it.
And I feel so left out. I feel so alone. Mr. Carter, I feel so alone.
Fit so many lamp, brother.
Well, it's okay. They have to hear all our references that they don't get, so we might as well have to hear some references that we don't get.
You know, but I will say this, though. It feels to me, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels to me like if something was popular when Jared and I were kids, the whole world knew about it. And there's so many things anymore. Somebody said just lamp. So someone agrees with you. I don't know what lamp means, but it just feels like
Neither do I.
if there was a pop culture reference, like everybody got it because okay, I'll give you an example. Star Wars played in the movie theaters for 12 years.
Yep.
For 12 years. Like,
They have like repeat performances and re-show them.
yes, like every summer Star Wars was in the theaters. E.T. was in the theaters for what, like 5 years? Okay, Jaws was in the theater almost every summer.
Yeah.
Like, so you gotta remember, like, no, yeah, there we go, nice. Yeah, I want to buy a Sunday. Yeah, okay.
Well, I remember they used to do that with the Disney movies too. I actually
Yeah.
got to see Snow White in the theater because they re-released it.
So, but today there's so much content. There's so much content that you can't consume all the content, nor can you even be aware of all the content.
It's true.
Oh, no.
So,
No, not at all. It's impossible.
yeah. All right. So
Well, it's just I think there's so much of it that it sometimes does get a bit overwhelming.
Well, so I want to hear about the lamp, though. Explain the lamp.
Okay, so...
I want to get the reference too.
Okay. So you're familiar with memes, right?
I know. I know
Yes.
what a meme is.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know what memes are.
So for a while, there was like a moth meme, which it has to do with this photo. Ray, do you want to see if you can find the photo of the moth?
I'll find it.
Okay, Ray will find the moth, because there was this picture of this guy, and there was just this giant moth behind him. I don't know why, but the internet clung to that moth like nobody's business.
I
And it just
remember
became
that.
this...
It became a thing.
Yeah.
And wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it just became like this whole thing.
Wait a minute.
And,
I get it now.
You know-
I did
and like
see that.
from that came this whole thing where like people were just making memes with that moth about like lamps and like finding the good lamp
Yeah.
and like
Because
is it any good
you know how
lamps?
like, moths are attracted to like lights and lamps and such.
I sent
Chat.
I sent the picture in our Discord chat.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
there we
Oh
go.
Yes!
gosh, that's
Ma-
horrifying.
You got
But-
any
But do you get it now? Do you get it now?
Oh, that is the cutest moth.
That is a
Right?
that is a Venezuelan poodle moth, and they are
I
so
love
cute.
moths.
Oh, nice.
Like I have a death's head moth on my wall right now actually. Like I love moths. I want to get more moths.
That,
I have a moth
Poodle
as
moths
well.
are really
is
pretty.
that moth real or is that photoshopped?
No, that's a real moth.
There's a real moth. It's the Venezuelan poodle moth.
It's an actual moth.
How can we show people? But everyone's aware of this except Jared and I, because we're old.
Yeah.
So everyone knows about this. Like everyone in the chat knows about it.
Yeah, I'd say this meme is a couple years old now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, for memes, is like ancient. Because
Yeah.
of how quickly pop culture moves
Because it's so
nowadays.
fast. Yeah.
It's so fast.
so fast moving.
And I'll admit, I actually had seen this meme, but I'd completely forgot about it. But like, this was a meme that my niece was sharing all the time.
I got a question.
Yeah, there's
for you
something about
guys.
just like the crackhead moth.
They call the fluffy bunny moth crackhead moth.
Oh no, just like the idea of like this, crackhead moth of like just looking for lamps, like it's tweaking because it needs its light fix.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like the whole energy of this moth.
Almost like the Dave Chappelle, where he has the. Never mind. All right. Anyway,
I don't want to bring
I
up
wanna-
Dave Chappelle. He's a little controversial right now.
that's okay. People forget. Do you guys have memes on your phones? Like, do you save memes?
Yeah.
Sometimes
really?
for like reaction purposes.
So
Yeah.
you just store them in the hopes that you're going to use them.
Not the
Kind of
hopes, the
language
knowledge.
sometimes.
The
Like, I
knowledge.
will
like-
use them.
The
That's
knowledge.
right.
Yeah, I have
It's
a whole
it's like all
folder.
that stuff that you store in your garage, but you know you're going to use it at some point.
Except I actually use the memes. I use them often.
Huh.
Well,
Like,
good.
Chad, I'm about to text you one of my
They would-
favorite memes.
Okay.
They would just gather up dust in my garage, so at least somebody's using them.
Okay. Let's see here. So I'm digging his. Digging his.
I really love that, dude. I really love that, and I love how you have the strap with the stakes in it.
the bandolier.
um, Yeah, the bandolier. Thank you. I keep forgetting the name of that.
You know, though, he needs to have a hammer.
Ooh, yes, to pound the stakes.
You know what, though? I think we should make the hammer look like the cross. 'Cause if you
Ooh,
look at this cross, that. So he almost has like a.
yeah. So he's almost kind of got like this cross theme going. So yeah, he could have a hammer
Yeah, Chad, I
that's
just
like.
texted you one of my favorite like memes that I use to react to people.
And is it on our Discord or is it on my phone?
It's just on your phone. I'm not sure how to get it to the Discord.
Let's see. Dear Chad, you're going to die? That's the meme you sent me?
Yeah, isn't it hilarious? Not actually.
That's right.
Okay,
It's always
all right.
hilarious when you threaten somebody's life.
That's funny. Okay, I like that. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Okay, all right. We're not doing any more text checking in our podcast. Yeah, I can see that.
I know.
Yeah, like if it's almost like having. But let me ask you this though: why would you store that as opposed to? Couldn't you just have like a GIF keyboard and then just search that and it would pop up?
There's
'cause it-
so many memes out there
Mhm.
It'll
that when
disappear
you
if don't
find
save
one
it.
that, yeah, if you find one that you really think is funny, chances are you might not find it again just because,
Really?
like yeah, so like with Moth Meme, say that there was a particular one that I thought was absolutely hilarious, and I didn't save it. If I go to try find it later and I just type Moth Meme, I am not going to find that specific meme ever again because there's so many.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Huh.
Because even when I type into the GIF thing that you were talking about,
Mhm.
I'll type that in, and even if there was one I liked, chances are it's not there anymore because there have been tons and tons past that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Learning all the new stuff today.
That's right.
Education.
You That's right. But by the end of this podcast, we won't feel so old.
No, we'll just feel older.
We feel older.
I remember the first time where I almost like fell on the floor. I was working in a comic book shop
Yeah.
in Las Vegas, Nevada, and a 6-year-old child came in.
Uh-huh.
I was probably 17, and I asked him what comics he was interested in, or which ones he wanted to read, and he was like, he said he was interested in science fiction. I was like, oh well, the new Star Wars comics just came out, and he was like, what's Star Wars? And I was 17. And I almost died. And then his mom came in, and I wanted to scream at his mother, like, "What are you doing? Take this child home!" And watch
Yeah,
Star
that totally
Wars," Anyway,
That totally reminds me. That they had that, and it was a meme for a while. Hilariously enough, too. It was a joke from How I Met Your Mother, because one of the main characters was dating this lady who had never heard of Star Wars, and then his friend comes up to him and says, she's like, she's never heard of Star Wars. Nobody's not ever heard of Star Wars. He's like everybody has watched Star Wars. The only people who have not watched Star Wars are the people who are in Star Wars, and that's because they lived it. They lived the Star Wars.
my sister's never seen Star Wars. It's true. It's true.
And there goes my momentum.
She's like, I'm not watching any of that nerd stuff, but she didn't say stuff.
Oh, so that's what it's all about.
But yeah, she's very defiant.
So basically, we're just all a bunch of nerds, is it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But here's the thing: when the communists invade, my sister will save me. She is like. Anyway, she's prepared for all contingencies. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's like Laurie Strode in the 2018 Halloween.
She's like. Do you remember Shaun of the Dead?
I remember Shaun of the Dead.
Sean's counterpart, like when they're trying to make
the
Winchester. Buddy? Yeah, she'll be like that. She'll pull up at the last second with all the Marines. They'll jump out of the Humvee or whatever and save the day.
Then we'll wait for this all to blow over.
Right, exactly. Yes. I'll be waiting at the Winchester. My sister pulls up in the Humvee.
That's right. I'll meet you there, Chad. You and I can have a pint.
There we go. That's a great movie.
Yes. Oh man, out of all the sort of zombie spoof movies that they have, Shaun of the Dead's got to be my favorite.
Let me ask you a question about this whip. Am I
Yeah.
making it too long? I almost feel like it looks like Wonder Woman's lasso. Like, how many loops are
That's
the whip?
really long.
That is, yeah.
That's really long.
But think of this. He also uses it like Indiana Jones, where he like whips across things and swings.
But still, it would have
Yeah.
how many loops? 2 loops?
You know, that is a good question, though.
Look up a picture of a cowboy with a, or like herding whip,
I used to have one.
herding lasso.
Wanna be a cowboy, baby.
Go be a cowboy,
I
baby.
think that's a song.
It's a meme.
This is another meme.
I'm pretty,
It's another
Yeah.
meme.
I'm pretty sure it was a song before it was a meme.
It was by Kid Rock.
Oh my.
Unfortunately,
Give it like 4 loops, Chad. 3 or 4 loops.
Okay, 3. Okay.
I agree
Probably
with that.
3.
Kid Rock. There's a controversial figure.
Yeah. But yeah. That's why I said, unfortunately. But hey, I can actually easily say that
Wait,
even when he was popular, I still wasn't a fan.
but we obviously he sang a song long enough for us to remember it.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the whole thing. I can't keep things from being remembered, but it is something that I'd like to eject from my memory.
Well, do you remember the one song? Da, 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 da. You remember that one?
Yep.
Da, 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 da.
Dun, 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 dun.
That song.
Yep.
Everyone hated that song, but everyone
Yep.
knows that song. What did our someone read the chat to me? I have the windows sort of scrunched up. I can see when people post, but I can't see when they can't see what they said because it's too small on my screen. I have the reference photos up.
Lynn David says, "Boys Don't Cry" did it before Kid Rock.
Okay, cool. Boys Don't Cry. So then Kid Rock was a cover then. Ooh, there we go. Average 3 to 20 feet.
I saw that. 3 to 20. See, so even if it was really long, they actually have whips that size, apparently.
Okay. And I just can't. I want them all to sort of be going through his hand.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's holding it. And for whatever reason, I'm struggling with that.
Yeah.
Not using my Procreate Snap. We are getting close to crunch time. It's 4:19. Maybe we should just get the top half done. Can I need to? This is due tomorrow, so I have to finish this tonight and have it uploaded to the servers. So is anyone wanting to jump on to do like a late night stream if we do this later on, or
Later on today?
Well, it'll be tonight after class, so it'd be around 9 o'clock. Does anyone want to jump on, or I could do it solo?
Well, I think I could possibly jump on chat tonight. The problem is the tablet I'm using is my mom's, so I'd have to keep it over here. But I can jump on chat with you tonight.
Okay, that'd be fun. Yeah, I think maybe we just get the top half done, and because I don't think I'd rather just right now we're doing slow and steady wins the race. I'm very happy with everything. I think it's turning out nicely. It's coming together the way I want. We talked about our goals. We didn't want him so big that he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We didn't want him so thin that he looked like he could blow away.
Like Ichabod Crane.
Right. I'm happy with the face. I'm happy with the elements as they're all coming together. It doesn't look overly complicated. It doesn't look undercomplicated. So we're hitting a lot of the right spots. So I'm
I
happy.
think we got the right idea with this.
And Lynn David says he's got a Solomon Kane vibe. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In fact, I've been urging you to watch the film.
Yeah, I still now. Is that available on YouTube now? I have watched.
Yeah, it's for free. You can watch Solomon Kane on YouTube for free.
Jared, did I tell you that Joy started watching the Dracula movies?
She did.
Can you believe that?
So is the Hammer ones?
Yes.
Nice.
Because the old ones are basically G-rated.
Well, technically they are. Hilariously enough, a lot of the rating systems when they first came around were kind of interesting because they weren't like how the rating systems are today. Because hilariously enough, like you've got Dracula has risen from the grave, which has got a ton of blood in it, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's G-rated.
Yeah. So, Lynn David, we're using our internet names, buddy. We're keeping everybody anonymous. So, but yeah. Hey, thanks for stopping in though. I'm glad that you popped by and you're watching for sure.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know Lynn David is one of these walking encyclopedias of comic book knowledge. He is a mentat, to use a Dune colloquialism. He's a mentat of comic book knowledge. It's amazing. Go ahead, you guys try him out right now.
I don't know what I would ask.
Now he's not a Dune fan. He hates Dune. So it's a really bad. It's a really bad comparison. He's like I don't get this. And we talked about this before. This is really funny because I hate Lord of the Rings. I enjoy the movie. Oh, you like the movie? Okay, all right, okay. I'll bet he hates the book though.
Okay.
Or maybe, Lynn, should I just say you don't like the book? Is hate a strong word? Anyway, he doesn't like it the way I like it. And
I don't think anyone likes the way you like it.
He's not as into Dune as we are, right, Chad?
No. But he Jared, I think one of the big problems is I think he started out with the prequels. Have you guys read the Dune prequel books?
I've not read any of the Dune books.
They are. Oh, he says the hate is strong. Okay. The Dune prequel books are hot trash. I hate them. I hate the Dune prequels, and I'm a fan of Brian Herbert. I think the biography he wrote about his dad is one of my favorite books. I'm a fan of Kevin J. Anderson. Together, though.
Oh yeah, all of the Star Wars books that Kevin J. Anderson has done.
Right. The prequels are just sacrilegious. I don't know. We shouldn't have sacred cows. Okay, so Lynn says that he did start with Dune, and somehow ended up reading the prequels. So, hey, is it Alley Carrot? Alley Carrot! So happy to see you.
Hey.
Joined us 6 minutes before the end.
I know. right near the end of it all. But you know what? There's an old saying that both you and I know. Better late than never.
Better late than never. That's my motto. Oh, gosh. Did I tell you guys about this week? So Monday, I was early to class. I get into the college, and just so you know, there's only 2 illustration rooms. We have 2 illustration rooms right across the hall from my office, and then 1 illustration computer lab downstairs, like directly below my office. It is 11. It's like 11:40. I don't know, probably like 11:35. No, I'm sorry, 10:35. Class starts at 11. I get to my office and I realize that I've left my keys at home. And inside my office is a computer, and I have to have this computer to teach because the computers inside the classrooms don't have Microsoft Teams installed. So that was Monday. Yeah, that was Monday. I had to turn around. Now it takes me 15 minutes to drive home, and then 15 minutes to drive to school.
Yeah.
I made it back by 11:01. I broke the laws of physics. That was okay. Another thing. Did you guys read the news that they accidentally discovered warp fields using a DARPA grant?
What?
Yes.
You did what?
Okay. In Wired Magazine has an article where they accidentally proved that Alcubierre warp field is possible. They were doing a weapons test, and they detected the warp field in this weapons test. Now, this warp field was
Interesting.
3 microns big, but they were able to basically show it on a sensor. And now they are building the first nano-sized warp ship. It's going to be 1 micron large, and they're going to test.
Are
it out.
you saying we actually might see warp drive in our lifetime?
We might see. Well, I don't know if we can see it because I don't know how big a micron is, but I'm assuming it's microscopic, hence the micron name.
I kind of figured that.
Scientists might actually do the first warp drive experiment, and we might actually see, or there might actually be a warp test in our lifetime. So, anyway.
Oh, yes. No, that would be freaking awesome.
Yes.
We could see warp drive in our lifetime.
Yes. Anyway, back to being late for college.
But it ain't late.
So that was Monday.
Anyway,
That was Monday. Now, on Wednesday,
yeah.
I lost my keys again. But this time, they weren't at home. They were not at home. I had left my wallet, my keys to my office,
It has not been your week.
in my jacket at the gym. I mean, and I come home and I'm like Joy, Joy, and Joy's trying to take off to Cedar City. She's in Cedar City right now visiting her parents. That's why everything's like so crazy, because she's not here. And whenever Joy leaves, the universe collapses. So just stay close to Joy and you'll be fine. But
So basically, you're not good on your own.
no, I'm not. I am not. And I have proof. I have stories that I can tell we can't say them on YouTube. That's how my morning's been. It's been that bad. It's been that bad. Anyway, so and I was ready at 10. I was ready at 10 o'clock. I'm looking for my keys. It is 10:45, and I finally remember that my keys are at the gym. They've been there for 40 minutes. So not only my keys, my wallet, and my jacket, just laying next to a treadmill at Vasa Fitness American Fork. Anyway, so we run. I should say I run. I get my jacket. I leave Vasa at 10:50 in the morning. And like I said, usually takes me 15 minutes to get to school. Once again, I was at school 11:05. So anyway, it's been that type of a week, and it never stopped. And this is the great thing. So I'm late to class, and then I tell students to do their SRI, which is the student rating of instruction.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to be. Oh, and I passed the department chair on my way in 5 minutes late. I'm like, no. Anyway, it's been one of those weeks, and then Canvas was down. So, anywho, just not my week.
Yeah. I think we're just getting on the cusp here, Chad.
We're getting down to the wire. Oh, it is 4:30. Okay.
Yep, it just hit 4:30.
Okay, so we're at 4:30. We're about halfway done. I'm pleased with the progress. I'm happy with the way it looks. Let us know.
So you want me to just join you up again tonight, and I'll at least talk to you on chat?
Yeah, I definitely have to get on, and I definitely need to finish things up. I definitely need to record. I definitely need to put it on YouTube. because when I'm done with this, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to take all these designs, I'm going to link them to my Digital Painting 1 class that's going to be taught in next semester at UVU. So everything we're doing here, not only we're multitasking here, not only are we designing this for Artist Elite, we're also designing this for educational purposes. So that,
Nice.
So anyone who's interested can watch it on YouTube. If you're interested in the painting part of it, everything will be up on YouTube, but it'll also be a part of our digital painting class.
That's right.
Next semester at Utah Valley University. Ray Perry, do you have any parting thoughts? Oh, are we bringing stickers tonight to trade stickers?
Oh, we should. That'd be really fun.
Can you put that on the UVU illustration Discord that we're doing a sticker trade for class?
I can send out a message. Do you want me to send it out to like the Discord as a whole, or just like our class?
We have 2.
Don't. I'll figure it out. Don't
Okay,
worry.
okay.
You just before. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
okay.
confusing the old men again.
Is it a group inside the one? Do you have like the?
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't need to worry about it.
You can't see me, but I'm just like I'm using my hand to like just be like you're okay. It's okay.
Just tell the right people. Tell the right people.
It's like I said, it's just confusing the old men again.
That's right, dagnabbit. Get off my lawn! Where's my paper?
I know. Those kids and their loud rock and roll music.
They trust me. They don't listen to rock and roll. They do not listen to rock and roll. We're the last rock and roll generation, my friend.
Cuddle Squish is asking when you plan to hop back on tonight.
Okay, so I usually get home around 9 o'clock Mountain Time, and I'll probably need to eat dinner and things like that. So it will be a late night stream, 9:30, 10 roundabouts. I'll be back on, and we'll finish this up, and then I'll probably start doing flats on it too. I'm going to see if I can't get the video done for. Like I said, I'm doing this for my deadline for Artist Elite is tomorrow, so it needs to be done tonight up on the Artist Elite server. So I got to get it there. But I'm also I got a deadline for finishing my online class for digital painting, and this is one of the instructional videos. So yeah, deadlines are. What's rule number 2, guys? Ray, what's rule number 2? Ray, you're gonna fail right here in front of everybody.
I'm gonna fail.
Always hit your deadline.
My
Make it look good. I know this.
Oh,
Make it
okay.
look
Perry
good.
got it. Perry helped you out. Rule number 1.
This is why I'm an honor student.
Okay. Look, Alley Cart's billing you out here. If you read the chat,
deadlines.
Ray, that's right. Rule number 2 is meet your deadline. So we're getting
My
our
gut
deadlines
reaction, what I almost said, I was like, you were like, what's rule number 2? I was like, deadlines are optional. And then I was immediately like, no, that is wrong.
At least it wasn't who does number 2 work for. Anyway, all right, that's all we have time for tonight. We got to run. I got to get to campus, get in front of my class. Thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you had a good time. We'll be back tonight to finish drawing Reiner for our upcoming Artist Elite comic Death Watch. Please follow us on our social medias. I am Harden Art on Instagram, Chad Harden on Twitter. Do you guys want to plug your socials real quick?
Okay. Well, let's see. I am Jared Wayne Gifford at Twitter. You can find me as Iron Maiden Fanatic on Instagram. And if you want to check out my podcast, it is known as Goth Nerd Revelations.
All right. Okay. Ray?
You can find me on Twitch. I will post the link right there. Twitch.tv/CityKidNaga. I do a lot of drawing there. I work on my comic a lot. I also sometimes play games for fun. It's just a good vibe time.
And we need to congratulate Ray. Ray, we want to tell everyone?
I officially got enough followers to qualify for affiliate, so I'm going to do the paperwork this weekend. And
you gotta do
it's
paperwork?
Yeah, you have to basically fill out a little thing that's like, this is how
So
you
you've
can
got a
give me money.
sponsor.
Kind of, yeah.
All right, well,
So I'm
that's,
really excited.
that's job
Go
number
clap.
2. You gotta
Go clap.
help me, yeah, for sure. But help me fill out my paper. I didn't know you had to fill out paper. I've never filled out paperwork.
I'm pretty sure you've already done it because you have subs enabled.
Okay,
Like, you're already affiliate, Chad. You've done it.
someone did it. The elves showed up and did it. It wasn't
There
you
we go.
guys. Anyway, all right.
You know what? I'm just going to use that excuse for anything
Oh,
I don't
look.
understand. It's
Allie-
magical elves.
Allie did it. Allie did it. All right. Anyway, congratulations, Ray. Ray, we're so happy for you. And then Perry.
I'm just Parasite on Instagram. I'll go ahead and send some kind of little something in the chat so you can see the spelling. I am planning on getting into streaming. That's going to be like my little December project, figuring that out.
Yes.
So I guess stay tuned.
We're
Yeah,
gonna-
right now it's Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, we're gonna make our VTubers. I want to be Space Chimp Chad, immortalized. That way, when I'm dead, you guys can just like animate my VTube, and we can just keep doing this forever.
There we go.
I'm teasing. All right, that's it. That's all we got for now. We got to run. Thank you, everybody. We will see you tonight, or if you can't chime in tonight, we'll see you next week. We will continue to stream even after the end of the semester. Thank you, everyone. Be good, be safe, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Cornbread.